Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at Jakarta, an incredible city, really the engine room of Southeast Asia.
Mm.
And specifically, we're diving into short-term rentals there, how to navigate that whole world.
Yeah, it's a big topic. We've got a lot of great material, especially drawing on the decades of experience from moveandstay.com.
Right. They've been doing this for, over 25 years, connecting business travelers, expats, finding places across Asia, real veterans.
Exactly. And Jakarta, it's not just this, sprawling city. It pulls in professionals, tourists, even locals needing a temporary spot.
So our mission today.
Basically, to give you the inside track, understand Jakarta's short-term rental market so you can, feel confident about your stay and really enjoy the city.
Sounds good. Our sources, like the insights from movieandstay.com, they cover pretty much everything, right? Finding the right spot, rental agreements, local customs.
All of it, from start to finish.
Okay, let's get started then. So, to kick things off, what's the big picture? Short-term rentals in Jakarta right now?
Well, what's really interesting is just how much growth there's been. MoveandStay.com's experience really points to this trend. There's just more and more options popping up all over the city.
So just more listings online.
It's more than that. It's like a real diversification. You've got business travelers coming for meetings, projects, tourists wanting that unique Jakarta vibe, and, locals needing temporary places too. It's a real mix driving it.
It sounds super dynamic.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore the digital side of things, surely. How platforms have changed finding a place.
Oh, absolutely. Those online platforms, huge catalysts. They've made it easier for renters, easier for owners, definitely fueled the growth.
Right.
But as moveandstay.com notes, it also means it's more competitive for landlords now. The whole Jakarta property scene is constantly shifting because of this digital wave and the demand for flexible stays.
Okay, so it's not just a few standard apartments.
Yeah.
What types of short-term rentals are actually out there in Jakarta? Is it mainly like hotels or...
Oh, much more. It's quite a wide range, actually. You've got your efficient studio apartments in those big modern high-rises, great for solo travelers, shorter trips.
Right.
Then you've got proper multi-bedroom houses, more space, more privacy, good for families or groups.
Okay.
And service apartments are increasingly popular. MoveandStay.com really highlights they're like a blend, the space of an apartment, but with hotel-type services.
Like cleaning and stuff.
Exactly. And then for the budget conscious, there are guest houses. More basic, usually, but often really cost-effective.
That's a really useful breakdown. Makes you think, yeah, different trips need different setups. A business person might want that serviced apartment convenience.
Precisely. Near the office, maybe?
Well, a family might really need a kitchen and more room, so maybe a house.
Exactly. And that choice, as our source points out, it really shapes your whole experience. What matters most to you? Is it a workspace, total privacy, on-site laundry, or just the best price?
Yeah, asking those questions first seems key.
It definitely helps narrow it down.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, who is driving all this demand? We've mentioned a few groups, but can we get a clearer picture of that target audience?
Yeah, it's pretty diverse. Business travelers, tourists, they're big segments for sure. But MoveandStay.com's experience also flags expats, people new to Jakarta needing somewhere temporary while they, get their bearings, look for long-term housing.
Okay.
And then there's a really significant group of locals using them too. Maybe their own place is being renovated, or they're visiting family across town or in town for an event.
So it's a real mix of reasons. Understanding that must be important for both sides, renters and landlords.
Totally. Landlords can tailor their places, their marketing, if they know who they're aiming for. And renters, if you know why you're going, you know what to prioritize. Like, conference attendees need good Wi-Fi and maybe proximity to the CBD.
Yeah.
Tourists probably care more about being near attractions.
Okay, so you've done your online search, maybe found a few places that look good, but Jakarta's huge. The location itself must be absolutely critical, right?
You've hit on a really vital point there. In a megacity like Jakarta, location isn't just about the four walls of your rental. It massively impacts your whole experience.
Oh, so?
Well, think about your daily commute. Access to basics, even just feeling safe, it all ties back to the neighborhood.
Right, and everyone knows about Jakarta traffic, so being close to where you need to be seems like a must.
Precisely. MoveandStay.com's insights really back this up. The traffic is, legendary. If you're there for work, being close saves you hours, potentially.
Hours you could spend doing something else.
Exactly. Less stress, more exploring, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not just work. What about daily life? Supermarkets nearby, places to eat when you don't want to cook, maybe a gym or a park. Those things really affect your quality of life there.
And moveandstay.com even broke this down, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like a table showing pros and cons, close to work, close to shops, close to parks.
Yeah, it's helpful. Close to work saves time, big pro. But the con might cost more.
Makes sense.
Close to shops, super convenient for groceries, but it might be busier, maybe noisier, maybe prices are a bit higher right there.
Okay.
And parks are great for exercise, fresh air, but maybe that means you're further from transport or other essentials. It's all about weighing those trade-offs based on your own priorities.
Okay, so location covers convenience, lifestyle.
Yeah.
But what about basic safety and security? That's got to be huge.
Absolutely paramount. MoveAndStay.com really stresses this. You have to do your homework on the neighborhood. Are there security guards around? What's the area's reputation like, crime-wise?
How do you find that out?
Talking to people helps. Locals, maybe expats who know the city. That gives you real insights. Look for simple things too, like are the streets well lit? Is there a police presence? And what about the building itself? CCTV, secure entry, feeling safe where you stay is non-negotiable.
Totally agree. Peace of mind is crucial. Now, besides driving, what about public transport? How important is that when picking a spot in Jakarta?
Given the traffic issues, public transport access is becoming more and more important. MoveAndStay.com highlights the improvements, the MRT, the Transjakarta buses, they're expanding.
So being near a station or a stop is a plus.
Oh, definitely. If you plan on exploring different areas, it's a real game changer. Makes getting around easier, and you'll probably save a fair bit on taxis or ride-hailing over time.
So finding the right spot in Jakarta sounds like a balancing act. You're juggling commute, safety, transport access, and matching it to what you need.
Exactly right. It takes a bit of research, a bit of thinking things through.
Any tips for doing that research?
Yeah. MoveAndStay.com suggests checking online forums, expat groups, get first-hand opinions, try visiting areas at different times, see what the vibe is like day versus night, and talk to locals if you can. That effort up front really pays off.
Okay, great advice. So you found the perfect area, a great rental online. Next, big hurdle, the rental agreement. The paperwork.
Absolutely. That agreement, it's your key document. And as MoveAndStay.com emphasizes, it's legally binding. So you really need to read it carefully.
Not just skim it.
Definitely not. Read every clause. Ask questions if anything's unclear. There's no silly question when it comes to a contract.
Okay, so what are the absolute must-check items in that agreement?
Several key things. First, the rental period. Lease length, start 10 dates if it's fixed, or the terms if it's month to month, needs to be crystal clear.
Right.
Second, rent amount and payment. How much? When is it due? How do you pay? Any late fees? All spelled out.
Okay.
Third, the security deposit. How much is it? What are the exact conditions for getting it back? Why might they deduct money? Also, maybe ask if there are, lower deposit options.
Good point. Anything else?
Utilities. Who pays for electricity, water, internet? Make sure that's clear in the agreement.
Those all sound vital. And MoveAndStay.com mentioned taking photos or videos before moving in. Why is that so important?
Ah, yes. Excellent advice. Documenting the condition before you move your stuff in dated photos.
Yeah.
Video walkthrough. It's your proof of any existing issues, like scratches or marks.
So protect your deposit later.
Exactly. It avoids potential arguments when you move out about what damage was already there versus what might have happened during your stay. It's just smart.
Okay, makes sense. So you read the agreement. Maybe there's a point or two you're not thrilled about. Can you actually negotiate terms with landlords in Jakarta?
Yes, often you can. MoveAndStay.com's experience suggests there's frequently room to negotiate, especially in such a dynamic market. Landlords want good tenants, right?
So it's worth asking.
Definitely. You might discuss the rent amount, maybe do some quick research on similar places nearby to back up your request. Or the lease term if you need something slightly different. Responsibilities for repairs is another good one to clarify. Even furnishings need something added or removed. Just ask.
That's good to know. It feels less set in stone then. Now, beyond the agreement itself, are there local regulations or legal things renters need to be aware of in Jakarta?
Yeah, that's important. Jakarta has its own rules for rentals. Knowing them helps avoid problems. MoveAndStay.com even suggests checking out midterm rentals to get a feel for the market.
Okay, like what kind of rules?
Well, registration, sometimes you need to register your tenancy locally. Your landlord should advise on that. For foreigners, visa requirements are key. Make sure your visa allows you to rent. Overstaying is serious.
Right.
Also, know how disputes are handled legally. It can be complex, so getting legal advice if needed is smart. And finally, just respecting local customs goes a long way in building good relationships.
So it's the legal stuff and the cultural context.
Okay.
Now, switching gears slightly, actually finding these rentals,
Yeah.
what are the main platforms people use in Jakarta?
Right. Search. You've got the big global names, obviously, Airbnb, Booking.com. They have huge selections, easy to use interfaces. Everyone knows them. But moveandstay.com, with their deep Asian market knowledge, really advises looking at local Indonesian sites too.
Why that?
You might find better deals sometimes or properties you won't see elsewhere. Unique finds. It's worth digging into those local options.
Okay.
But the golden rule, whichever platform you use, read the reviews carefully
Yay.
from previous guests, always.
Reviews are everything. That real-world feedback. And moveandstay.com had that comparison table, right? Airbnb vs Booking.com vs local sites like Traveloka, comparing features.
Exactly. It shows the differences. Airbnb has like apartments, houses, but also more unique stays. Reviews from hosts and guests. Cancellation policies vary a lot, though.
Okay. And Booking.com.
More focus perhaps on hotels, service departments, guest houses, usually guest reviews only. Cancellation can be clearer, sometimes stricter.
And the local Indonesian sites.
Property types vary, often strong on apartments, guest houses. Payment might include local options like bank transfers, guest reviews usually. Policies can be quite firm sometimes.
And moveandstay.com laid out the pros and cons too. Airbnb, wide choice, local feel, host tips, but maybe inconsistent quality, potential scams.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. Booking.com, generally reliable, good for hotel service places, clearer policies, but maybe less personal.
Right.
Local sites,
Yeah.
potential for better prices, but maybe smaller selection, customer service might vary. They also mentioned checking out vacation rental management companies for a smoother process.
And that Airbnb story, they shared the disappointing one. A good warning, right?
Absolutely. A real reminder to read those reviews thoroughly and check multiple platforms. Don't just rely on the pretty pictures.
So quick recap. Airbnb for variety, potential local vibe, vet carefully. Booking.com for reliability, especially hotel-serviced apps. Local sites for potential deals, but check selection support.
That sums it up pretty well.
Okay, booked. Arrival date is getting close. What prep should you do before you even get on the plane to Jakarta?
Good question. Preparation is definitely key. First, talk to your host. As moveandstay.com advises, confirm your arrival time, ask any last-minute questions, keep that communication open.
Makes sense.
Get a local SIM card soon after landing. Makes life so much easier navigation, connecting, using local apps.
It's like Gojek or Grab.
Exactly. Download those essential apps for transport, food delivery, super convenient in Jakarta.
What about packing?
Light, breathable clothes for the heat. Universal adapter, crucial. Maybe a small first aid kit.
Yeah.
And trying to learn even a few basic Bahasa Indonesia phrases really helps. Shows respect, makes interactions easier.
All super practical tips. Getting connected with a SIM and those apps sounds vital. Now, once you're there, settling in. Any local etiquette or customs to be mindful of?
Oh, definitely. Being aware of local customs makes a big difference. For instance, using your right hand to give or receive things is generally polite. Dressing modestly, especially at religious sites, is important. And if you're bargaining in markets, do it respectfully. Keep it friendly. Understanding these things just makes for a smoother, more positive experience. Builds better connections.
Such important advice. Simple awareness goes a long way. What about finding everyday stuff once you're in your rental? Groceries, ATMs?
Yeah, practicalities. MoveAndStay.com suggests locating your nearest mini market, Indomaret, or Alphamart are everywhere. Great for basics. Find the closest ATM, too.
Good plan.
And it's always smart to know where the nearest clinic or hospital is, just in case. Oh, and for laundry. Look for laundry kilon places they wash by weight, usually cheap and efficient. Getting these basics sorted early just reduces stress.
Right, lets you focus on enjoying Jakarta. Okay, we've talked a lot about solo travelers, business trips. What if you're going to Jakarta with family? Any specific rental considerations?
Ah, yes, families. Jakarta can be great for families, but the right accommodation is crucial. Look specifically for places advertised as family-friendly.
What makes them family-friendly?
Often more space. Serviced apartments can be really good, offering multiple bedrooms, maybe a separate living area. A kitchen is often a huge plus with kids for meals, snacks. MoveAndStay.com even mentioned finding good kid-friendly options in areas like East Jakarta.
That extra space and a kitchen, total lifesavers with kids, I bet. What specific amenities should families look for?
A washing machine dryer is amazing. That fully equipped kitchen, definitely. If you have little ones, check about high chairs or cots. A swimming pool or a playground in the complex. Huge bonus for keeping kids happy. Maybe even ask if they have board games or kids' books. Don't be afraid to ask the host before booking.
And Jakarta itself, any good activities for kids?
Loads. Taman Mini Indonesia, Inda, that big cultural park is fantastic. Ragunan Zoo is always popular. Water Bomb Jakarta for water park fun.
Right.
So when choosing your rental, think about how close you are to these places or how easy it is to get there via transport. And maybe check for family-friendly restaurants nearby, too.
Okay, so you're settled in the rental, ready to explore. How do you make the most of that temporary space or just the whole Jakarta experience?
Well, even short-term, you can make it feel a bit more like home. Small things. Maybe rearrange the furniture slightly if it works better for you. Just check the rules first.
Temporary changes only.
Exactly. Add personal touches photos, maybe some temporary art with non-damaging hangers, a plant or two. Soft furnishings help cushions, throws, makes it feel cozier. Just double-check that agreement before doing anything major.
Makes sense. Be comfortable, but respectful. Okay, getting out and about. Must-see attractions in Jakarta.
Got to see Monas, the national monument. The views from the top are incredible. Explore Kota Tua, the old town. It's like stepping back in time, really atmospheric.
Cool.
And Istiqlal Mosque, it's the largest in Southeast Asia. Absolutely stunning architecture, worth a visit.
And food. Jakarta's famous for food, right? Dining, entertainment recommendations.
Oh, it's a foodie paradise. You have to
Fine.
try the street food, nasi goreng, satay, gado-gado. So good. Visiting a traditional market is an experience, too. And Jakarta has a great live music scene if you're looking for evening entertainment. MoveAndStay.com had that handy list of dining areas, too.
Yeah, Menting for upscale, trendy spots.
Right. Kimeng for more bohemian, lively places, lots of cafes.
Pain Blooddock.
Chinatown
Yeah.
for authentic, bustling, amazing Chinese and Indonesian food. You won't go hungry in Jakarta.
This has been so thorough, an amazing deep dive into Jakarta's short-term rentals. If we had to boil it down, what are the absolute key takeaways for our listeners?
Okay, the essentials. First, location, location, location. Think proximity, safety, transport, really weigh those factors.
Right.
Second, that rental agreement. Read it, understand it, don't be afraid to negotiate it, know your rights and responsibilities.
Crucial.
And third, just be aware of local rules and customs. It makes everything smoother, more respectful. Basically, knowing the ins and outs helps everyone, renters and landlords. Leads to better stays overall.
Fantastic summary. And to leave everyone with something to think about, here's a final thought. Jakarta changes so fast. How might that balance between short-term rentals and the long-term housing market keep shifting? And what could that mean for residents and for visitors in the years to come?
That's a really interesting question to ponder as the city keeps evolving.
Definitely food for thought. Thanks so much for diving deep with us today.